Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is another... Oh, wait, is this normal-ass normal game? This is normal. Okay, normal-ass normal game sent in by you, the fans, to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yes.
Hit me up with that old school noise. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, we've got thick beams.
Yeah.
The red Protoss. In the top left, we've got barcode. Oh, how original! Taking themselves very seriously. What is the league rank for this?
Diamond.
Diamond?
Yep.
Bro, get the barcode out of here.
Yeah.
If your ass ain't Grandmaster, barcode the shit out of you. This ain't 2000 and friggin' 12. You don't need a barcode for Diamond. Stop the madness.
You never know. He might be working his way back up. He could be on a new account, working his way up, or he could just be just a barcode out there, just trying to pretend like he's, he's the man or the manette. Who knows? Well, we're gonna find out here. But thick beams, getting thick vision, flying all around inside here. I don't know.
I was wondering how you were gonna try and tie those together, but all right, yes, yeah, fine, okay, thick vision, yeah, totally.
You like that? You like 100%. That? Comes in expansion.
Thick with 2 C's.
Hell
yeah,
yes.
The thick expansion.
So Adam, since we got some time, right? You're heading on over to the Philippines. The Philippines of dreams.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to the most? Outside of,
coming home.
Holy shit! Damn!
No, I'm just fucking with you. It's just a good joke. It was between that and air conditioning was the two things I was going for in the joke. Honestly, other than, of course, meeting M's family, which is going to be great because it's been 4 years. The pandemic kind of like you couldn't travel, especially because the countries you have to stop over to get to the Philippines, like literally impossible, even if you wanted to. And so that will be awesome to finally to meet them, and of course to see where she grew up, because I mean culture shock will be fucking bonkers, 100%. There are very few places, that are as far separated culturally as it would be with the Philippines and here, and so I'm looking forward to that. And even though I'm not really much of a beach person, I am kind of I'm looking forward to seeing what the beaches and stuff are going to be like there, because I mean the Philippines are like a bajillion islands out in the friggin' ocean, right? So lots of amazing beaches. And crystal clear waters, coral. If you want to do might be doing some diving. There's the coral reef is there, things like that. So that'll be fun. And then maybe trying some of the foods. I'm not about to eat balut. The whole fucking premature duck egg thing is just not my style. But some of the other stuff that we can't get here, because we eat Filipino food here, but having some stuff that you can't necessarily get here to make it, and enjoy it there will be kind of fun too.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, that's gonna be solid. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. And
oh,
it's gonna
God.
be real fucking hot. So I look forward. It's like monsoon season there. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time.
Yes. Yeah. So the real monsoon season properly starts in September. It will likely be a bit rainy on a few of the days that we're there, no doubt. In August, it tends to be a bit rainier than July. But the real shit storms start hitting more in September. Okay. So we should be relatively lucky. It will be hot as fuck, and it will be humid as hell. So their baseline is 30 degrees plus 97% humidity.
Woo.
So it's gonna be warm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be, and you're going, for 3 weeks? It's a long time.
3 weeks, because you don't travel that far and stay for 3 days.
You definitely don't. No. You stay just long enough to get acclimated, get all the experiences, and then come home and then be a hot mess for about 3 weeks after you get home.
Yes, so don't expect the podcast and the StarCraft casting to be any more coherent from me when I return, because I'm probably going to be delirious from having flipped my clock completely in the opposite direction. Am will be not too bad, because she's used to doing this shit on 12-hour shifts for work, where she literally lives in different 12-hour segments. Yeah. I'm probably going to be fucked. So it will be an interesting time.
Well, now that we've bought just enough time, looks like both sides are going to be going up to do a push at the same time. The one, though, for Thick Beams is going to fail horribly because, well, with the Widow Mine there and a couple of Marauders, and he already has Stim and a Medevac here, he's going to be in some doo-doo butter. Here comes the drop with the Widow Mines, and it's going to do little to no damage. I'm liking the spread there with those probes. Very well played.
Yeah, that was very well done. He's soaked up as much damage as he can. He's already, like, basically 2 probes died.
Yeah.
And what could have been catastrophic for many people. That was a well-handled. And here we go. We're gonna blink up this corner. Can he get up there with that? Is that just the right spot, or can he get a little stalker like one at a time? Like, it might be really slow. I don't know.
He should be able to put his stalkers there and then blink like sort of in this spot. One might get caught here on the ledge. Looks like he's waiting for more to show up, so we are gonna have like a little blink in there. This might do some damage. Because by the time these units get up, and as long as the stalkers decide to run that way, he should be able to recharge for that blink. But the longer he waits, the worse it's going to get. And he is bailing. He's not going to do it. He is not going to do it. He's going to see what he has first. Okay. Interesting. Maybe he's going to wait for Barcode to move out.
To move out?
And then blink in. What? Do not
or
go
just
up the front.
fight him one-on-one.
So he's going to go for some picks here. He's going to try and maybe pick off
wait
Medevac.
to see.
Yep.
Every time we try and be right.
Beautiful. That was nice. That was nice.
I was wondering. I was gonna say he should maybe if he just waited right there, had the observer down to see when he started flying out with the Medevacs, and just blink in and just take out Medevac.
Hey, you could do that too. But he also just doesn't want to wait too long, because if your opponent does nothing, you're in trouble. Going right after the tech, he's gonna blink out. He's gonna lose maybe 1 stalker out of this. Yep, he's going to lose 1. Good trade. That observer is going to go down. So 1 stalker for the tech. Don't hate it. And just gets Barcode really just on his feet, on his toes.
Yeah, one stalker more or less for a drop ship and the tech, and I think that I agree. I think that was worth it. He doesn't have many options now, though. The tank is there at this point, and he's going to have to choose his attack times perhaps a little bit more wisely. Although if he can blink enough, I mean, the annoying thing about that blink location is that you're really only going to get so many up at a time, and if the Terran gets in, you're kind of not going to get enough damage done before you can get the rest of your units up. So he's going to have to be careful here. He is thinking about it. The Terran's thinking about it too. He's thinking, when's the next one coming?
Yeah, he just did a scan there, but Observer was ahead of it. And if he could get that ops kind of looking over here, he might actually go in there and pick off 3 or 4 units in a supply depot and then back off. So there goes 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4, and now he backs off. Very nice. I'm liking what he's doing here. This player actually knows what is up. He's single blinking away as well. He should be able to turn around, pick off a Hellion and blink. Nice. Picked off the Marauder instead. A better pickup. He's going to get a 2nd and a 3rd unit here. 2 Hellions. Going to commit to it here. Do not blink forward. Nice.
Oh, blink forward.
Oh, no. Don't do that because the siege tank. So he's just picking off.
Siege is down there.
Yeah, he's just picking off a unit here and there, because if he were to do a forward blink, right? This guy's got stim. So now he's basically forced to take a fight. So just picking off a few, blinking away, picking off a few, blinking away. Now he's got some zealots here with charge. We're getting to the point now where he might actually be able to commit to this. One of the siege tanks is sieged up. He needs to blink back some. There you go. Get the zealots in the front. He needs to go after those medevacs if he can. Pick off a tank and blink back. Beautiful. Oh, this is textbook.
Wow.
I'm loving it.
Wow.
I'm loving it.
So far, he's doing an absolutely spectacular job. There goes the scan to try and get rid of that observer, and he barely does, but he sacrificed a lot of units just to be able to take that observer out.
Yep.
And again, thick beams with thick blinks.
Yes.
As he continues to just do a fantastic job, and now he's getting Immortal in there, and that's going to get real scary for Terran. With or without those medevacs who are getting lower and lower on energy. He's got a couple out of pretty good energy clip, and the others not. He needs to be careful here. That tank, just on the outside edge.
He's gonna go for the 3rd. He's gonna go. I think he's gonna go over for the 3rd. He's gonna meet an army here, though. Needs to blink back, let the zealots go in, and have that Immortal focus down on that 1 siege tank. The Immortal still isn't doing much. He's going for it. Nice. The zealots went after them. The Immortal in the back going after those Marauders. I'd like to see him back up just a little bit because that Siege Tank is doing a lot of damage. He does that. He's not overcommitting. Good micro there with the Immortal. Now he needs to cut his losses and back out. He needs to get a Warp Prism or something. Like, he needs reinforcements.
Yeah, this is Diamond, and we can tell at the very least that Thick Beams, the thing holding him back from going higher, is definitely not his micro. That's clearly it.
Gonna lose the units here. That was bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that was bad. He was doing everything so well up to that point. He was getting a lot of damage done, a lot of footwork to make that happen. But now Terran is going to be able to situate himself at that expansion and continue to macro up. And so at this point, as Protoss, Mr. Black, do you cut your losses, go home, and try to get another expansion yourself?
Yes, you leave. He's already expanded, so he does have a third. He's doing a great job macroing. Both players playing really, really well. He's got a Colossus here in the mix, but it's Colossus with like 5 Stalkers and a Zealot. He's going to lose this Colossus if he gets overzealous with it. Pardon the pun, but like he really needs to back up. He is doing a good job at harassing here, but I'm afraid one bad engagement and one good stim could literally lose him the game. If he loses this army right now and a counter happens, I'm not sure he actually survives. So he just can't overstay his welcome. He needs to wait for that second Colossus. But he is doing a good job at sort of bluffing a little bit, like kind of puffing his chest out, doing a bit of a war cry. Even though Barcode could theoretically stim and win this engagement, Thick Beams is doing a good enough job. And I think also when you realize that your opponent is really good at micro, makes you think twice and 3 times before throwing that punch. It's like in UFC, you got a striker where you're like, well, why don't you just throw hands? You're just getting your knees and your shins are just getting kicked the fuck. I mean, they're gun shy. They don't want to throw it because they're like, shit, if I throw here, if I throw this punch, I might get countered and get smacked in the face, get knocked the fuck out. So I think part of that is Thick Beams doing a really good job, but it's going to get to the point where Barco could get such a critical mass that it doesn't matter how many shots you take, at some point, he's just going to get pissed at getting hit, and he's just going to A-move, and it's not going to be good. So we'll see what happens here.
I really don't know how Thick Beams gets to break this line without a lot more Zealots than he currently has. I mean, there's enough tanks in good enough positions there to really make this very challenging for him to break in. He could get a tank here and another tank there. Oh, that'll do it! The whole army moved out!
Yes, he did a drop over
When did we
here
miss
with
that?
the War Prism. It was happening at the same time. Once he brought that army down, that's when he went in and took out all of those siege tanks. Now you've got a Marine, a Medevac Marauder Ball, which is no chance against these Colossus with the Stalkers. A beautiful 2-prong attack there from Thick Beams, and it's something that you typically see that Terran does, not the Protoss. So I really, really like what's going on here, and a good hold there from Barcode as well. He didn't get too flustered. He managed to hold it down. He's still got his planetary there. His SCVs took no damage, but the real story here is Thick Beams getting a 4th and 5th base. Actually, a 5th and a 6th base. That right there tells you everything you need to know. Another batch of Zealots moving up to the side here as well.
Yeah, no, just as I was saying, as usual, because the Caster's Curse is fucking real for me, how does he get in there? Well, all it needs is to remove everything but the siege tanks, which, sending a whole bunch of Zealots in, as it turns out, is exactly how you accomplish that task. But like you said, very well done from Barcode, who didn't overcommit one way or the other, and took minimal damage there considering, and now he's got a maxed army, and he's looking to move out. And it looks like also, while this was happening, Thick Beams is ready to play some dodgeball, Mr. Black, and he's gonna need some good hits if he's gonna be able to survive this Terran ball.
Well, he's in a perfect spot to get off those good hits. Here we go.
Oh my God.
He's gonna double it up. One of them goes down, one of the balls goes off, but unfortunately, his army is there, and that is a huge MMM ball. He is gonna lose the Colossi, he's gonna lose the Stalkers, the Giraffes are going back to Africa, and now we got Stalkers, Sentries moving up here to the left, and I would have loved to have seen Barco just counter, and I don't want to necessarily say win the game, but do just an insane amount of damage. I mean, you can hold this off. You've got planetaries back here. That's going to buy him just enough time to start to remax, and, well, the battle continues, and actually, I think, to be honest, Adam, after losing all of those units, and we'll lose these, I believe that Thick Beams actually came out on top here, getting rid of this expansion, and yet he's going on his 7th base. I mean, the pressure is real.
It is real. I mean, and that's what's really keeping thiccbeams in this, is that because he is being so macro heavy, really the only reason he can keep this up is because he's being so aggressive. If he wasn't, he'd never be able to keep this this whole charade up. He's basically held Barcode at his third for the entire friggin' mid-game. He hasn't gone anywhere, and that's with a lot of units, with a little bit of units, whatever the units he could fucking afford to have on two-prong attacks, on single attacks, and otherwise. But like you were saying before, I think Barcode here is getting tired of getting attacked. I think we just saw Protoss tank a bunch of probes there to clear up some. To clear up some food. To get a bigger army, and he's going to need it because the Protoss, or the Terran, is moving in. Although, kind of dumb, he moved everything, which means that all of the medevacs went in early, and they're just sitting by themselves.
Yeah, they're sitting by themselves, and he split up his army in three different chunks. You got a chunk over here, the chunk up here got destroyed because little to no medevacs. Now we've got the Zealots on the ground getting rid of the siege tank, the Colossi in the back, ripping them a new asshole, and now you've just got a shit ton of medevacs with no units to heal up. Not enough Stalkers there to pick them all off, unfortunately, so he is going to be able to get those medevacs back into the army back at home, but the damage has been dealt at him. 7 base versus a 4 base Terran, which two of which are basically completely out of minerals, and things are looking much more grim here for Barcode, but these Stalkers need to back off. You can't get too confident here because a Stim can win. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, thiccbeams has got all these bases and all this economy, but unfortunately he's got nowhere to spend all these minerals. He's not got the production facilities to keep up with all of his funds. He's sitting on 4.5K gas and minerals.
That is true.
And so despite having all these resources, he's not spending them wisely. And yeah, he had a whole bunch of medevacs with nothing to heal, but he has them now. And they've shown up on the doorstep for thiccbeams, who's now going to be up against the wall, and he's going to need some storms, or not even storms. He said, fuck that,
Archon.
straight into some Archons to try to combat this. And this is going to be a bad situation for thiccbeams. If he does get out of this, he's going to take a lot of losses to be able to just pull this off.
That was not good there from Barcode. He should have just committed, killed that Nexus, and then picked up everything and dipped off. And unfortunately, he sat there too long. The Archons are out. Medevacs are dying. An Archon does go down there, but this army isn't very scary. Adam, he's still on 7 base to basically a 3 base Terran. This could be game over real soon. He still has 5,500 minerals. As long as he spends mats, he should win this game. Now our Terran is down to 700 minerals with no army outside of some medevacs and some straggler units back at base. He is at 2-2 for upgrades against 3-3 with 2 shields. This siege tank is going to go down by 1 kiss. This is not looking good here for Terran.
No, the Terran's going to rely heavily on planetaries and whatnot, but he does not have a lot of resources to work with, and sadly, like you were just mentioning, he threw what units he did have kind of away with some poor positioning, some poor play, and he needed those units because even though thiccbeams has not been able to spend all of his money, he can definitely, I mean, thiccbeams could not spend money for the next fucking, like, 7 minutes game time and have enough funds to keep this whole thing going. So he had the opportunity, but he kind of dropped it. Nice pickup there, but he can't be too aggressive.
Yeah, he just keeps A-moving with those medevacs as well, and he's losing shit tons of them. I will say, I'm giving a lot of credit to thiccbeams, but he is dog shit with disruptors. He just keeps putting them in very vulnerable positions. He's losing a ton of minerals, a ton of gas, and a ton of DPS that could really expedite his way to victory by just getting off 1 or 2 good volleys with those disruptors. But I also got to give Barcode credit. He is sensing these. He's doing a good job at stimming backwards and picking them off. But now we're getting at that critical mass of Colossi. Giraffes are out on the field. We have more Archons coming in, and this is starting to turn into a Protoss death ball. He's already shit away a good 40-50 probes. Still has 104 of them to the 62, and this is so much Colossi, Adam, that I feel like this is the beginning of the end for our Terran player.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough healing on Earth to be able to keep up with the DPS of like 4 or 5 Colossus and all these Stalkers and these Archons. That's just an absolute massive damage. He's trying his best right now. He's doing a pretty good job. That tank on 1 HP, helping to clean that that last of the Archons up. But there's so many giraffes. just so much.
Yep.
And now he's going to start to use these Templar to get rid of the energy of the remaining Medivacs, which is an interesting play as well. Something you don't see all that frequently. Normally they just say fuck it, storm everything to death, but spiking them with that, I don't even remember what the name of that fucking move is anymore. I haven't seen it in so long. Feedback?
What, feedback? Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah,
it
feedback. Yeah. So that's definitely been his play here, and I don't know what Terran does. I think Terran's just dead. Like I mean, 6,000 minerals now.
Yeah.
Like he could stop mining. And he's already won the game. Terran needed to do, unfortunately, more economic damage when he was down there and just didn't make it happen.
That's huge. He
Oh
needs
my
to turn
God.
those into
Oh
Archons.
my
And
God.
finally, a good disruption. He gets a few units. Still, Barco did a great job at splitting up there, and he is finally going to commit to this attack. And unfortunately for him, he just does not have enough DPS. And that is game. What a fucking game. That was a good game. Both players playing really, really well. And it was non-stop harassment from thiccbeams. It was literally, as soon as he started down there, he didn't stop. And it is what won him the game. You cannot allow Terran to sit there and turtle. Also, the fact that he didn't have a planetary fortress here really hurt him a lot. Instead of just getting an orbital command, getting a PF there would have been a lot better, and would have made those zealots work a lot harder. But nonetheless, both players did a phenomenal job. Didn't know where the game was going to go at one point, but then it just slowly started going into the favor of thiccbeams. Well played.
Absolutely, well played indeed. And really, back and forth. I didn't know who was going to win there. Like, it could have gone either way for so long, and even with all that. All those bases, thiccbeams seemed like he still had an opportunity to lose, but at the end, he pulled it out, and just well done indeed. And I just think the highlight of the game for me was that early on harassment from thiccbeams. I think it was just extraordinarily well executed, did all the right things, blinked at the right time, and I think you said this was Diamond. I think thiccbeams is well on his way. I mean, both gentlemen's got to be well on their way to breaking into Masters. I don't see any reason why they can't break that barrier pretty soon, so good on both of them. Good game.
GG's. We'll see you guys on the next one.